Okay, good day guys. In this video I'm going to be talking about momentum and impulse. So firstly, to start off, I'll be defining momentum according to the exam guideline definition, which goes as momentum is the product of an object mass and its velocity. So it's the product of an object mass and velocity. Right, now the formula for momentum, it's P is equals to M times V. Right, so guys, you would have to remember that momentum is equals to mv. So m is the mass of an object, and then v is the velocity of an object. Right, so m is measured in kilograms, right? And then v, which is the velocity, it's meters per second. Okay, so therefore this implies that momentum will be equals to kilograms, the mass, times meters per second. Those are the units of momentum. So in order to define momentum in a way, I want you to think of, like, maybe you've heard from like the commentators, either a soccer match or a basketball match or a netball match, whereby you would hear people saying like, yo, I like the momentum of this game, like the momentum is so super, it's nah. So basically what they mean is that like the game is having a great velocity, so like the people are either moving fast, like, yeah. So since P is equal to M times V, right? So this means like the velocity is okay. So when the velocity is okay, it means like, what I mean by saying it's okay, like the velocity is increasing. You see? So when the velocity is increasing, which means the momentum will increase. So the mass is the same because it's one object. Okay. So then, yeah, after defining momentum, that's momentum. P is equals to mv. So if an object moves from one point to another, say it was here, it was having velocity was equals to 5 meters per second, right? And then it moves, and then the next thing, the object covers a certain distance, and then the velocity is equal to 10 meters per second. So suppose the object, it's like 5, the mass is 5 kg. Okay, so it had a momentum here initially, this is the initial velocity, and it also had a momentum here final, which is the final velocity. So we would be having what we call a change in momentum, that thing, change in P, which is change in momentum. Okay, so the formula for change in momentum is change in P is equals to PF, I'm so sorry guys, PF minus PI. Okay, now this would be equals to the mass of an object final velocity, right, minus m times initial velocity. So this would be the formula. So suppose for this example you are required to calculate, they say calculate change in momentum for the question for this. Okay, they say calculate the change in momentum. So what you are given, you're given that mass is equals to what, 5 kg, see, and then v initial is equals to what, 5 meters per second, right? And then vf is equals to 10 meters per second, 10 meters per second. Okay, now when you calculate the change in momentum, you have to have p final minus p initial. So you're going to have the mass times final velocity minus the mass times initial velocity. So you'd be having, what is the mass? It's going to be 5 times the final velocity. The final velocity is 10. Then you substitute 10 minus, okay? Now the mass is 5 times the initial velocity, which is 5. And then you go on your calculator. It's going to be, this is the calculator that I'm using. And then you're going to be having 5 times 10 minus 5 times 5, 25. So you'll be having 25 kilograms meters per second. Okay, so this object is moving to the, we assume that it's going to the left as the velocity increases. Okay, so it's going to be left. That is the change in momentum. Easy.